If you're a guy over 40, still training like you're 22, this video may just save your shoulders, your back, and your ego. I'm not saying these exercises are bad. I'm just saying these are overrated and not worth the risk anymore. The juice just isn't worth the squeeze. The No Fade channel, checking in. Jonathan here with the top 5 exercises that men over 40 should just reconsider, why they stop working, and what you can do instead in order to stay strong, lean, and injury-free. Number 1, the biggest ego lift ever, the lift that gives you the least amount of gains and the most amount of injury risk, is gonna be the bench press.
No!
It is the favorite of gym bros across the world. It's the thing you've got to do every Monday on International Chest Day. It's the one question every gym bro has to ask each other.
What do you bench?
But the truth be told is the bench press is more of an ego lift than anything else. People are just trying to get numbers and they often sacrifice their form. The risk of hurting your shoulder or tearing a pec is rather high, especially when you are using your ego to lift. On top of that, you can also jack up your wrists rather quickly as well. There's tons of great alternative exercises that can take that lift and give you better gains. Number 1, using dumbbells. It's the same exact exercise, but with dumbbells, you get a better range of motion. You also can't go as heavy because you've got to stabilize individualized hands, and you get a better muscle contraction at the top.
And it feels different. It feels fantastic.
Another alternative for you die-hard bench fans is to use a multi-grip bar. This bar takes your hands from this position and puts it into this position. And that seems like a rather small change. But the truth is it puts your wrists in a naturally neutral position. So your wrist won't be compromised when you're benching. It also puts your shoulder in a neutral position, allowing you to have less shoulder pain and more muscle engagement. And if you get a cambered multi-grip bar that's gonna have your hands be able to go below your chest, you'll also get a further stretch and a higher range of motion. And a much better option for any flat bench press has to be an incline bench press. You get more shoulder and upper chest activation, and you can't go as heavy because of the angle of the bench pad. It's just one of those exercises that is often overlooked because people can't brag about their numbers. But if you're looking to put on mass, if you're looking to stay healthy, choose the incline bench press. Number 2 is another great exercise that unfortunately is also an ego lift, and that is the deadlift.
Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
Now, I know you guys are going to be screaming at me in the comments that the deadlift is the best overall exercise, and I'm not going to argue with you that it's a great exercise, fantastic exercise for building muscle and strength and endurance and grip strength, everything else in between. You guys win that argument. The problem is it's an ego lift. People are throwing on plates to get high numbers, and even when those folks have good form to start with, it quickly goes out the window. And the next thing you know, you're gonna get yourself a herniated disc or a torn bicep. If you are looking to build a big, thick, wide back, you absolutely don't need to deadlift. There are thousands of other great back exercises that can hit every different angle of the back, from lat pull downs, low rows, bent over rows, pull-ups, you name it. There's a back exercise that's gonna target your back almost as good as the deadlift, and it's not gonna leave you all jacked up. If you're old like me and you find these videos fun and informative, hell, check out the links in the description. They do support the channel, but it's not a one-way street. When you use those links, let me know, because I will send you a small token of my appreciation. Number 3 is one that people love to do, and unfortunately, they're not getting anything out of it, and that is the barbell shrug. Yes, they love to load the plates up on the side, do some shrugs with about a ½ inch range of motion, and call that trap day. The problem with that exercise is, number 1, you're clipping the boys in the front. So when you're doing that exercise, you're always mindful of what you're gonna hit in the front, what's sticking out, what's gonna get squished, and that's a problem. Number 2, as I just mentioned, the range of motion is very, very small. And because the bar's in the front and your traps are in the back, it is very hard to actually activate your trap muscles and engage that when doing the exercise. exercise. Oftentimes you'll find that your elbows are bending to compensate and you feel like you're working out, but you're really not. Two alternatives to build out those trend traps that we all want. Number two is an open, rackable trap bar. This keeps your hands at your sides, so the weight is essentially aligned with your body and you're able to get a longer range of motion. You're able to squeeze your traps a lot better, getting more muscle activation, and you're not gonna clip the boys in the front. And the number one best alternative exercise for your traps has to be incline dumbbell shrugs. That's right. Normally people will do dumbbell shrugs with the weight at their side, and that's certainly fine. But when you get that incline, when you put your body at an incline, usually using either a seal row pad or your incline bench, you're gonna find that you're actually lifting with the traps a whole heck of a lot more. You're gonna feel twice as sore with half the weight doing these incline dumbbell shrugs. And an honorable mention for those of you that really wanna build up those traps, that neck, is to get a head harness. They're like 25 bucks on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description, and ultimately you just put like 5, 10, or maybe even 15 pounds if you're going heavy, and you just do neck exercises, and it works some of the smaller muscles in your neck that you don't necessarily train that often, but you feel it very, very much, and it's a great way to build up that overall neck strength so that the next time you're in a car accident, you don't get whiplash. Number 4 might be cheating, but I'm gonna tell you running is overrated. Now, many of you think that's not a weightlifting exercise, but we really should be mindful of our cardio, and a lot of people, their go-to cardio is running. Unfortunately, like your wife always tells you, you're doing it wrong. So many people, when they go running, they'll go slow and for long distances, like a couple miles, and they feel like they're getting a good workout because they're sweating and their heart gets up a little bit. Unfortunately, that's just not gonna cut the mustard. You're not getting a lot of bang for your buck. When you go running, especially on the road, you're putting your body under a lot of stress. Very few people have that perfect form when they run, where you land on the front of your foot as a shock absorber. Okay, most people when they run, especially when they're a little tired or sore or not really focused on running at all, end up heel striking. And when you heel strike, the impact from that cement or concrete or whatever hard surface you're running on goes right up your heel, into your knee, into your hips, and into your lower back. Now, some great alternatives that are gonna give you way more bang for your buck, and that means VO2 max is going to improve, you're going to burn more calories, you're going to boost your metabolism, and you're going to actually be a little less sore than those long, drawn-out runs. Number 1 has to be the Echo bike, the Assault bike, the Air bike, whatever you want to call it. It is a calorie killer. You can go long distance on that thing, you can do sprints. It is just a great all-around exercise, and it is low impact. Another one that you used to do when you were a kid but haven't looked at it since, jumping rope. Yes, jumping rope is a fantastic form of cardio, especially if you're moving your feet and changing up your pace. I will tell you, if you are gonna jump rope, make sure you are on a soft surface, or get yourself a jump rope pad that has like a little bit of give underneath it. It's just gonna make your joints feel all that much better. But jumping rope, especially if you get something like a weighted jump rope, is gonna tax your entire system, and your heart rate's gonna be very, very high in a short amount of time. And one that I absolutely love, one that you can do in a hotel room, you can do in a big closet, you can do in a phone booth, and if you're a youngin', ask your parents what a phone booth is shadow boxing. This is something that you're gonna feel stupid doing. Trust me, I couldn't fight my way out of a wet paper bag, but you just basically start throwing your punches, moving your legs, moving your head, and boom, you're gonna be sweating. It's something that you're not used to, it's something that you haven't done in forever, and ultimately, it's gonna get your heart through the roof. Now, if you really wanna kick it up a notch, I recommend going and getting a shadow boxing workout. I think they're free online. You certainly can pay for them, and all it does is something that you listen to, and it calls out combinations. So instead of you having to think which hands to throw and which slips to do when you're shadow boxing, because oftentimes when we get tired, we get lazy, you get someone in your ear, chirping in your ear, throw a 2. Right? Throw a
Left
4,
hook, right straight.
okay? And you're just throwing combinations,
left
you're
hook.
moving your head, you're not really thinking about it,
Right
you're just
uppercut,
going through
double
the
left
motion,
hook.
but your heart rate's going up, your
4.
body's getting taxed, and ultimately it's fairly low impact to boot. And number 5 is probably a staple in most people's training regimens, especially when you're targeting triceps, and that is unfortunately dips. I know, you're gonna kill me in the comments. Well, put it in the comments, we'll have a discussion. Dips are overrated. They just don't deliver on what you expect. Now, they are a good exercise. They do build muscle, but here's the catch, here's the problem. Most people aren't doing dips very well. They're not doing them correctly. They've got their bodies all out of whack, and they're putting so much strain on their rotator cuff, especially when they're forcing through these ultra heavy reps and they're trying to contort their body and to give them a mechanical advantage. You're basically taking your ball and socket joint and you're just crushing it. It just doesn't translate to gains. Why? Because you're going to be injured. Even if you do them weightless, unfortunately, most people still can't do them well. Maybe the first 5, they're fine, their form is perfect. The next 2, it's so-so. And by the time they're trying to hit rep 12, rep 15, the next thing you know, they're still doing this whole little weave thing that helps them get through the motion, and it's just wreaking havoc on their shoulders. It is a shame, I completely admit, because it's something that doesn't require a lot of equipment. Even as a body weight exercise, it is exceptionally tough and demanding. It's just one of those things. You can keep doing dips, and if it works for you, it works for you. But don't come crying to me if you start feeling some shoulder pain. Now, some alternatives, if you're looking to hit triceps and you want to stay injury-free, number 1 is diamond push-ups. So that's a great strength-to-weight ratio exercise, targets your triceps. Another one I love to do with the perfect push-up is a close grip push-up. It targets a lot more of your triceps than your chest. The perfect push-up, which is an infomercial thing that they used to sell, does work. It allows you to get a deeper range of motion, more muscle activation on your chest and triceps, and it's not gonna send you to snap sit. 2 exercises that are absolutely not overrated. Clicking on these 2 videos. They're gonna help you improve your home gym gains in no time. Check those out, check out the links in the description, and as usual, thank you for watching, and don't save anything for the trip back.